All right. Thank you very much, Academy, for having me here. Super excited to be here at D.I.C.E. and close out the show. It's been a great ride, and how cool is it to be here at the Hard Rock and see Steven Tyler's words as you ride up and down the elevator and get to see Paul McCartney's bass and all of that. So it's been a great time, and thank you, everyone, to put it together. So I'm going to talk today. I'm not going to come out here and tell you guys, hey, look, we found the way. This is the way you do it. Just do this, and it's going to work. This is the business model of the future. Everybody's got to jump on. When I think about it, I'm more thinking about it from a perspective of all the business models have validity. Everything works in a different way. You just have to figure it out. And when I think about the opportunity, I think about the idea that right now, everything is becoming interactive. The way you get your content, the second screen experience, what you do with your devices, it's all interactive. So that's us. We are the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences. So this is our chance. We own this. We own this, and we should take this over because now's our time. So, speaking about Telltale, at Telltale we have a very holistic approach. We really believe when we're building this product, it's episodic because digital allows episodic. It's narrative because narrative supports episodic. It's all feeds into each other. And when we talk to our development team, it's about how do you build a product that works inside that business model. And when we talk to our marketing team, it's about how do you message what we're doing to the customer so they get it. So it's a very holistic approach. And I think what we've run into as an industry is this idea, this separation between development and the business interest, where if the business model isn't working or has stopped being as effective as before, it's go find a new business model. And I think what we've done is said, why isn't the business model working for what we do and what we're good at? And how do we change our product to work in a new business model? And it's very holistic, and it's about management working with development, keeping the best people on the job who know these problems and have solved them throughout their careers, and really working at what do we need to do as an industry to work as consumers transition, which they're going to do and is going to affect us all. So I know what everyone's thinking right now, or I think I do. You're saying, Dan, you've been the Episodic game company for 8 years. You've said it all the time. That's all you ever talk about. What's appointment gaming? Why is it appointment gaming all of a sudden? Well, with Walking Dead, really what we're speaking to is the fact that people experience it as something that they need to do on a regular basis. When you're playing a Walking Dead episode, like one of your favorite television shows, what's important is that you understand what's going on so you can be part of the ongoing experience that is the game experience. So as every episode ends, having played it and having been able to discuss it is as much a part of the experience as the core game itself. And then from a marketing perspective, we're pushing the next episode, see what comes next, see what happens next on The Walking Dead. In each of the games themselves, they have their own previously on and next time on. So it's a language that people are familiar with. And because we're interactive, because we can do this, everybody's next time on is different. Everybody's previously on is different based on what they did. And that's the power of interactivity, and that's what has made this an appointment experience where people have to come and put down whatever they're doing and play the next episode of The Walking Dead. So one important thing we have to do appointment gaming is get our scheduling right. And you might say, hey guys, just queue it up. Just build all 5, put them out. What's the problem? Just queue them up and release them. But I think one thing that's come up for us as an episodic company is we've learned about live development. And we've learned the value of live development. So when we were releasing The Walking Dead with episode 2, there was a scene in the game where you meet a cannibal who was going to eat you earlier, or would like to eat you. Hasn't eaten you yet, but he might. And the player has the opportunity to take it out on that cannibal and really finish him off at that time. And the player can. But when he finishes, he looks over, and there's Clementine, the girl that he's been protecting this whole time. that's super special to him. Well, after we released the episode and people started talking about that scene, all they could say over and over again was, I felt so bad that Clementine saw me behave that way. Every episode from that period on, when we were talking about choice and talking about making it challenging on the player, we were thinking, who's in the room? What are they thinking? What does the player think they're thinking? And what are we doing by putting this player in the room? So we were able to learn this thing about our game and use it as a tool to improve the experience for everybody going forward. So, we're a little bit out there without a net when we do this live development. It's not easy. People ask me all the time, so how do you guys turn this around so quickly? How do you get these changes into the game? And the answer is just, that's in our DNA. That's what we do. That's why this works. That is what part of episodic gaming is. We've been releasing episodes for a long time. And the ability to respond quickly and make these types of changes that make every episode strong and every episode have the player considered has added a lot to the process. So there's been a lot of talk this last couple days about where we're at and what we're doing as an industry. And I think the word I'm going to use now is accessibility, and I've heard it earlier. And I know that accessibility can be a dirty word to people that sell to gamers because, let's face it, if you're playing Call of Duty and you're getting your frag on and you're dropping some taunts on people, you don't want your mom in there or whatever. And I get that. Gamers want to keep gaming cool, and that's great. But it's a big, wide universe. We know it's all multi-platform now. Telltale games are multi-platform. They launch on iPhone all the way up to Xbox. So we're serving everybody. And while the experience might be easy to play and easy to get into and easy to have people involved, the storytelling, the situations, everything about it is also complex. So we can bring someone in that isn't necessarily a great gamer and immerse them in a game experience that they can get into that gamers also love. But the focus is accessibility, and the reason is we have a great existing audience across the platforms that we know and love, and we have emerging audiences everywhere. And that's always been our goal, to get them all and to bring people in. And finally, the most universal thing about what we do is that storytelling is universal. Storytelling is the most universal thing there is. So that brings up the age-old debate of interactive storytelling. And I know that this is one that again, people are talking a lot about. How do you do it? Should you do it? There's a real debate. Is it a game? Is it a story? What should it be? It can't be a story if it's a game. And I love the passion that our gamers have and love to talk, and they love to go off and give their opinion and say how passionate they are about it, and that's great. But I have the mic now, and what I would say about it is just, and this is to everyone in this room, the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences, of let's not talk. Let's stop that debate because it doesn't matter. What matters is if players enjoy what we build. And we're in a place right now where we're interactive, and when people come in and start making decisions, what happens next is infinite, because we don't know. We need to respond to whatever they do, and they can do many different things, and that compounds over the course of it, and we have no idea what's in their minds. So we play in an infinite space. To limit ourselves with, is it a game, is it a story, can a game be a story, can it be this, can it be that? That doesn't matter, because we never would have had The Sims or a lot of things just made you wouldn't have even known were possible until we did it, if that was the conversation that happened. So anyway, from an interactive narrative, I'll get off my high horse on that one, but that's what I want to say about it. From an interactive story standpoint, well, how do you do it? I've heard that it can't be done. But I do want to bring a moment from The Walking Dead that kind of shows a place where we're telling the story, creating a dramatic moment, and at the same time letting players feel like they can do what they want to do in the space and actually do what they need to do in the space. So if you could roll the first video, please.
Hello? I'm not an intruder. Or one of them. These people may need more help than I do.
Messages. Message 1, left at 5:43 p.m.
Hey, Sandra. This is Diana. We're still in Savannah. Ed had a little incident with some crazy guy near the hotel, so we had to get him back to the ER and have it checked out. Anyway, he's not feeling well enough to drive back tonight, so we're staying an extra day. Thanks so much for looking after Clementine, and I promise we'll be back in time before your spring break.
Message 2, left at 11:19 p.m.
Oh my God, finally. I don't know if you tried to reach us. All the calls are getting dropped. They're not letting us leave and aren't telling us anything about Atlanta. Please, just leave the city and take Clementine with you back to Murrieta. I've got to get back to the hospital. Please let me know that you're safe.
Message 3, left at 6:51 a.m.
Clementine, baby. If you can hear this, call the police. That's 911. We love you. We love you. We love you.
So you can see that as an example where we're using something that the player wants to do, feels like they need to do, to tell a story with the answering machine, and then let them do what they do, which is natural, which I turn on the answering machine and I walk around and I explore and I check out the room and I gather more information, and then bringing them into this moment where we really want the dramatic punch and making it sing. And we've worked for years with people like Bob Gale and Steve Purcell, who are Hollywood directors, and Robert Kirkman, the executive producer of Walking Dead, to really talk their language about story beats and how you do this. And we've really built the company around tools to present those moments so that they work for people, so that the immersion stays there, and it really brings the interactive techniques and the storytelling techniques together at the same time and pushes them both as far as they can go. So I've also heard it said that in the game industry, you can't make characters that people can connect with. You can't, it just doesn't happen. And I have a huge different opinion on that because in my mind, what the characters in Walking Dead are not just people that you meet, maybe you see one tender moment, you say, oh wow, yeah, that's a nice guy. But instead, you've traveled with them through a zombie apocalypse. You've decided on who gets to eat and who doesn't get to eat. You've fought about things. You've disagreed with them. You've made up with them. You've developed a relationship with them. So this connection with the character and who they are, because we're interactive, we're putting a larger imprint on that character. We're taking what we do and letting the player invest in that character. And I have a little video of some people that have played the game at a moment. This is a spoiler, by the way, and it uses adult language. So if my mom's watching it, just close your eyes now. And if you haven't seen it, close your eyes. But this is spoiler number 1. So, oh, can you play video 2?
You think you're some tough bitch, don't you? Like nothing can hurt you. But you're just a scared little girl.
What the fuck's the problem?
Ooh! Ah!
What the fuck? What the fuck?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
What the fuck? Are you fucking shitting me?
Oh, fuck!
No fucking way!
So that's some example of the level of connection that people had with Carly, and trust me, there were a lot of pissed off people because a lot of gamers had a really good shot with her, they thought. So that was one. And then the other thing is, I've got the next slide here, which is about can games create a character that someone would love? And I think everyone loves the dude in the game that's blowing everyone away and is awesome, and you feel awesome, and you're getting a good rush, but can you feel that real connection? And I think with Walking Dead, with Clem and Lee, certainly by the end of the game, there had been a journey that had happened and a connection that happened between Lee and Clem that also became between the player and Clem. And here's some more footage of people playing the end of The Walking Dead. If you could roll number 3.
Oh, no.
You're strong, Clem. You can do anything.
But I'm little.
Doesn't mean nothing.
Please don't be one of them.
You have to shoot me, honey.
Please, no.
You need to learn, because this is a cruel world and we have to still love for each other.
It's okay.
If she can do this, she can do anything.
Make it.
Always keep
Always
moving.
keep moving. You're gonna want to find someplace like the motor inn, but that's just not safe. I'll miss you.
Me too.
Go on, you brave little girl. Go on. Go.
This is way too much sentiment. Oh my god. Telltale Games, what the fuck did you do? It's an awesome game, I'm not saying that, but you just pushed on the right fucking buttons and made me cry, what the hell?
So thank you, YouTube. It's funny because I was thinking about this a little bit and what this meant and what interactive means. I know that it's like, gee, can't we be like other things and other mediums? And it's, in my mind, forget that, forget that. We are the next medium, They need to be like us and figure out how we're doing what we're doing. So that puts us in the driver's seat. But we got to get our shit together in some ways, too. That'll be my next speech. I had one example that I wanted to give that kind of talks about a classic movie and what the game did. And it's talking about Old Yeller. Because I saw Old Yeller and it was very similar. I was like one of the guys up there. And, it was very emotional. I got to see that boy and see that dog and connect with that dog. But, in that movie, I never got to pet that dog. And I never got to throw that dog a ball. And I never got to go out and hunt a rabbit with that dog. Nor did I ever have that dog piss on my rug or bite me, or did I ever kick that dog? So imagine at the end of that movie, I have the gun up to the dog. Either that's the dog I love more than anything because we played ball together, or I hate his guts. It's a completely different experience depending on what the user imprints upon it. And that's very similar to what happened there. So moving on to the next slide. Where else are we going? Episodic gaming allows us to do a lot of things. This connection allows us to do a lot of things. And really, the part of the world that we have to explore is the connected experience outside of the game. We're coming out once every 6 months. There's opportunities to keep talking to people and to keep people engaged and to keep doing things that they keep them engaged in this process. So this is part of their life. I'm looking at the clock there, so let me go to the next one. And finally, the next generation of consoles are going to continue to give us more and more opportunity to be connected, to have other media, to share the experience between Walking Dead the game and Walking Dead the show, or whatever. So what do we do? How do we do it? How do we make it? How do we create the next generation of content? What is it? But it needs us, because it can do it. The new boxes will all be able to do it. Whatever takes over the living room is going to be able to do it. And this is what we do, and this is what all the developers that we have in the, in the gaming world have been doing for years and years and years. So let's not cut people off and chase the new thing. Let's sit down together and solve the problems. So I'll leave off that and put my last slide up, which is party time. So, all right, thank you, everybody.